Now, a dividend investor recently asked me, well, there's so many different dividend stocks and ETFs across the market. In your opinion, or in my opinion, what is truly a 10 out of 10 dividend stock or ETF? And honestly, my answer to that is simple. It's the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. This ETF, in my opinion, is a 10 out of 10 option. Now, I've showed you guys this before, but I'll share it again. This is because SCHD offers all of this. I'll quickly go through it. The ETFs will sleep well in an ETF. It's tax friendly. It's cheap to own. It has a strong methodology. It's very diversified. There's tons of upside. There's a nice starting dividend yield. And lastly, most importantly, there's massive dividend growth. Now, sure, there's other ETFs and stocks across the market that might offer a lot of these things or maybe even all these things. But for the fact that the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF offers all this inside one asset, in my opinion, this ETF is the best. Now, more importantly, for this video's sake, we're going to go through what it would look like if an investor invested $1,000 and held onto this ETF long term. And I'm going to share with you guys what it would look like if an investor bought $10,000 of this ETF, and then lastly, 100K invested into SCHD. Now, because this ETF does have the potential to grow very quickly, relatively speaking, based off of the dividend growth, and the actual price performance. Some of the numbers I'm going to share with you guys are going to be shocking, especially if you've never plugged them in over a long time frame. So if you want to see how much an investor would end up with if they invested, say, $1,000, $10,000, or 100K into SCHD, well, then make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. My A to Z dividend investing ebook has helped countless dividend investors get started with their journey. And my custom dividend tracker that I'm constantly using here on the channel has also helped so many investors stay on track and allow them to see their dividend income in real time. Well, today I have another treat for you guys. I'm not only going to offer you my A to Z dividend investing ebook and the custom dividend tracker, but also just for a short limited time, I'm going to be adding in my brand new weekly dividend blueprint ebook to show you how you can get started with weekly dividend ETFs and add this into your investing strategy. This offer is not going to last long, so go ahead and click the first link down below in my description, and you're going to get both ebooks and the custom dividend tracker bundle. But like I said, please act fast because this won't be around for long. Now let's get back into the video. Now remember I mentioned that this ETF has performed very well, at least since inception. We're talking around 12-13% annualized returns per year, every single year, which is not bad whatsoever. I mean, if you look at this ETF's total return on the max timeframes, all the way back since 2011 when the ETF was trading at around $5 per share, now trading almost $30 per share. If an investor bought this ETF more or less any time in history, they would be up a lot on their shares, but on top of that, their dividend yield on cost would also be massive. The total return for SCHD since inception is around 370+%, which brings me into one of the main reasons I think this ETF is a perfect vehicle to build a compounding machine long term. What I mean by that is if you're a long-term investor like I am, and you're trying to build out a massive snowballing dividend portfolio long term, buy into an ETF that's well diversified and that offers a 4+% dividend yield with around 11% dividend growth rate. At least based off of historical numbers, this ETF has the potential to turn even a small portfolio, relatively speaking, into a boatload of cash long term. Now, obviously, the more you invest, the more you add to your portfolio, most likely means the bigger it's going to get over time. But again, for this video's sake, we're going to go through 3 different options, 1,000, 10,000, and 100K into my favorite dividend growth ETF and share with you guys what it would look like. So heading over to the dividend calculators for the first one, I'm going to be going through a $1,000 example with a 4.05% initial annual dividend yield, an 11.3% expected annual dividend amount increase, 4% share price appreciation, and 30 years invested. Now the next one, everything's going to be the same. The only difference is we're starting off with $10,000 just to share with you guys how much bigger the portfolio would grow over time if you just added a zero. Now lastly, the final example I'm going to share with you guys is $100,000 invested into SCHD, which does offer all these different metrics at least more or less. But to get started, just to give you guys an idea, a $1,000 investment, let's say you open up a portfolio today, you bought $1,000 worth of SCHD, you turn drip on, which means that over time, every single quarter, all your dividends are going to be reinvested into more shares of this ETF. A $1,000 starting investment, $0 annual contribution. So it's pretty much like you open up a Robinhood portfolio, you buy $1,000 with SCHD, you log out and log back in 30 years later. Now, based off of all the parameters we gave the calculator, a $1,000 principal would only pay around $41 per year in dividends. So skipping right along because we don't have all the time in the world here, 20 years down the road, we're at $7,200 and around $1,100 in dividends. Now, the crazy thing is that even with just $1,000 invested over a long enough time frame, if SCHD for whatever reason was able to keep raising their dividends year after year like they have historically at least, which again we don't know if that's going to happen or not, after 30 years of investing, the portfolio's final value would be around $70,000 and around $17,000, $18,000 per year in dividends. Now, not the craziest amount of money, but still pretty impressive considering this is just a $1,000 investment. Now for the next example, like I said, a $10,000 investment into SCHD, everything else is going to be the same. With the $10,000 term principal, you're already at around $411 per year in dividends. After you reinvest those dividends and the dividend increases year number 2, you're already up to almost $11,000 and almost $500 per year in dividends. Now 15 years in, we're at $37,000 and around $4,000 per year in dividends. 20 years down the road, we're at $72,000 of principal and around $11,000 per year in dividends. Now what's crazy is that just a $10,000 investment based on these parameters, 30 years invested, we would have an ending balance of $700,000 and over $179,000 per year in dividends. Now again, take this all with a grain of salt. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with SCHD's price appreciation, dividend increases, etc. But either way, it still goes to show that a $10,000 investment in an asset that offers these types of numbers could potentially be insane. Now last but not least, $100,000 invested into SCHD, $0 contribution, everything else the exact same. With a $100,000 investment, you're already getting $4,000 per year in dividends, which is not bad whatsoever. And because you're getting so much dividends, you're going to be able to drip and reinvest into a lot more shares a lot quicker. So 10 years down the road, the portfolio has already doubled to $211,000 and $16,000 plus per year. Now 15 years in, we're at $364,000 and almost $40K per year in dividends. 20 years in, $724,000 and over $112,000 per year in income. Now the final value of $100,000 invested into SCHD and just letting the portfolio ride, reinvest year after year after year, we're talking $7.1 million and over $1.7 million per year in dividends. Now before you say, well, these numbers seem absolutely outlandish and insane, keep in mind guys, look back at history not that long ago, look at 10 or 11 or 12 years ago. SCHD holders were getting paid around 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents per share per quarter. Now as of recently, we're talking 27 cents, 25 cents, 26 cents. I mean, the amount of dividend increase has been insane for this ETF. Now couple that with reinvesting over say 10 or 20 or 30 years, and you can really start to understand the power of compound interest. So I think it's safe to say that whether you invest $1,000, $10,000, or $100,000 into the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF or any other super high quality dividend growth ETF out there, over a long enough time frame, you're probably going to be happy you did so. But lastly, most importantly, I have a question for you guys down below. When it comes to long-term investing, whether you buy SCHD or any other ETF or stock, I want to hear what you guys are buying down below. Comment some ticker symbols of your daily buys, some of your favorites. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like in it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.